My grandmother always taught me that family comes first. She forgot to add the disclaimer, unless your family is a leech named Travis. I'm a 27-year-old accountant. I bought my first house, a modest 2-bedroom bungalow, last year. I live alone, I like things tidy, and I value my peace and quiet after tax season. 6 months ago, my cousin Travis, 29M, called me sobbing. He gave me the sob story of the century. His girlfriend had cheated on him, his landlord kicked him out because the girlfriend was on the lease, and he had been laid off due to budget cuts. He had nowhere to go. He was sleeping in his car. Just 2 weeks, OP, he begged. Just until I get my first paycheck from this new job I'm lining up. I promise I'll be a ghost. You won't even know I'm there. I felt bad. We grew up together. So, against my better judgment, I said yes. I set up the guest room with fresh sheets and gave him a key. The first 3 days were fine. He slept a lot, probably recovering from the trauma of his breakup. By day 7, the cracks started to show. I came home from work to find the living room dark, the curtains drawn, and Travis in his underwear on my couch, playing Call of Duty at full volume. There were 3 empty pizza boxes on the coffee table and a stain on my rug that looked suspiciously like Mountain Dew. "Hey man," I said, putting down my briefcase. "Could you maybe clean this up? And wear pants in the common areas?" "My bad," he grunted, not looking away from the screen. "I'm in a ranked match. I'll get to it." He didn't get to it. I cleaned it up the next morning because the smell of pepperoni and stale vape smoke was making me nauseous. The 2 weeks deadline came and went. When I asked him about it, he gave me the puppy dog eyes. "The new job fell through, man," he sighed. "The manager was a total jerk. But I have 3 interviews next week. Just give me a little more time. I have nowhere else to go." I'm a pushover, so I agreed to another month. Big mistake. Travis didn't just stay, he metastasized. He slowly stopped acting like a guest and started acting like the lord of the manor. The guest room became a no-go zone. I glanced in once when the door was open, and I swear I saw a science experiment growing on a stack of plates he had hoarded in there. The floor was carpeted in dirty laundry. But the breaking point started with the food. I meal prep on Sundays because I work long hours. I had made 5 containers of chicken stir-fry for my lunches. On Tuesday, I went to the fridge to grab one. They were all gone. I marched into the living room. "Travis, did you eat my lunches?" "Oh, yeah," he said, scratching his stomach. "I was starving. You barely had any salt in them, by the way. You should season your food better." That was my lunch for the week. I yelled, "And you didn't even ask. Do you have any money for groceries?" "I'm a little short right now," he said, getting defensive. "Why are you being so stingy? It's just chicken. You make good money. Stop counting pennies." This became the routine. He used my expensive shampoo. He cranked the AC down to 60 degrees while I was at work, doubling my electric bill. He invited random friends over at 2 a.m. on a Tuesday to chill, waking me up before a big meeting. Every time I tried to talk to him about getting a job, he had an excuse. "The economy is bad. My back hurts. I'm overqualified for retail." Last night, I came home to find him hosting a poker game in my dining room. There were 4 guys I didn't know smoking cigarettes inside my house. "Travis!" I shouted, "What is going on?" He looked at me with genuine annoyance. "Chill, op. You're embarrassing me in front of the boys. Go to your room, we'll be done in a few hours." He told me to go to my room. In my house. I looked at the ash on my hardwood floor. I looked at Travis's smug face. And I realized that the 2 weeks was never real. He wasn't looking for a job. He was looking for a host organism. And I was done feeding the parasite. I didn't wait for the poker game to finish. I snapped. "Everybody out." I yelled, turning on all the lights. "Party's over. If you aren't related to me, you have 30 seconds to leave before I call the cops." The random guys grumbled, grabbed their cigarettes and half-empty beers, and shuffled out the door. Travis sat there, shuffling the deck of cards, looking at me like I was the one who had just ruined a perfectly good evening. "You have serious anger issues, man," he muttered. "I have anger issues." I laughed, a manic, high-pitched sound. You are smoking in my house. You are gambling in my house. You haven't paid a dime in 6 months. Get up." He didn't move. I said, "Get up, Travis. We are done. The 2 weeks are up. The 6 months are up. You have 3 days. I want you and your pile of trash out of my guest room by Friday at noon. If you aren't gone, I'm putting your stuff on the curb and changing the locks." I expected him to beg. I expected the sob story again. "Oh, but OP, I have nowhere to go." Instead, Travis leaned back in my dining chair, put his feet up on my table, and smiled. It wasn't a nice smile. It was the smile of someone who is holding 4 aces. "You can't do that," he said calmly. "Watch me," I spat. "No, really. You can't," he said, pulling his phone out. "I've been living here for 6 months. I receive mail here. My clothes are here. Under state law, I am a tenant." I stared at him. "You're not a tenant. You're a guest. You don't have a lease. You don't pay rent." "Doesn't matter," Travis said, scrolling through a web page on his phone. "According to the Tenant Rights Handbook, once a guest stays longer than 30 days, they establish residency. You can't kick me out without a formal eviction process through the courts. That takes, what? 3 months. 6 months." My stomach dropped. "You're joking." "I'm not," he said, looking me dead in the eye. "If you change the locks, that's an illegal self-help eviction. I can call the police, and they will force you to let me back in. I can even sue you for damages. It's called an illegal lockout." He reached into his pocket and pulled out a crumpled envelope. It was a letter from a credit card company, addressed to Travis, last name, at my address. "See," he grinned, waving the envelope. "Proof of residency. I've been having my mail sent here for months, just in case you tried to pull something like this." I felt the blood drain from my face. He hadn't just been lazy. He had been planning this. He knew exactly what he was doing. He had entrenched himself like a tick. You planned this." I whispered. "I took you in when you were crying in your car. I fed you. I gave you a home. And this is how you repay me. By threatening to sue me." Travis shrugged, grabbing a slice of cold pizza from the box the other guys had left behind. "I'm just looking out for myself, cause. It's a tough world out there. I need a place to stay, and you have a spare room you weren't using. Don't be selfish." "Selfish?" I screamed. "I am paying for everything. Your food, your water, your electricity. And you'll keep paying for it," he said, chewing loudly. "Because if you cut off the utilities, that's also an illegal eviction tactic. Look it up." He stood up, stretched, and yawned. "Anyway, I'm going to bed. Don't wake me up early tomorrow. I have a headache from all your yelling." He walked into the guest room and slammed the door. I stood in my dining room, surrounded by the smell of stale smoke and betrayal. I looked up the laws on my phone. He was right. In my state, he was technically a tenant at will. To get him out, I would have to serve him a 30-day notice, then file for eviction in court, then wait for a hearing, then wait for the sheriff. It could take months. Thousands of dollars in legal fees. And the whole time, he would be living in the next room, eating my food, and laughing at me. I went to my room and locked the door. I didn't sleep. I lay there listening to him snoring through the wall, realizing that my kindness had just trapped me in a nightmare. But Travis made one mistake. He assumed I would play by the rules just because I was a nice guy. He forgot that I'm an accountant. I solve problems with logic, loopholes, and numbers. And I was about to make his life very, very uncomfortable legally. The next morning, I didn't scream. I didn't argue. I poured my coffee, looked at Travis sleeping on the couch at 11 a.m., and walked out the door. I went straight to a real estate attorney. I paid a $2,500 retainer. It hurt my savings, but I viewed it as an extermination fee. He wants to play by the book. I told the lawyer, let's throw the entire library at him. We serve him with a formal 30-day notice to quit that afternoon. A professional process server handed it to him. Travis laughed. I watched him on the hallway camera, which I had installed inside the common area, legally permissible. He read the paper, crumbled it up, and threw it at the camera lens. Nice try, OP, he yelled at the camera. It's gonna take way longer than that. He was right about the timeline, but wrong about the outcome. The next month was a Cold War. I moved all my valuables, my laptop, my watch, my social security card, into a storage unit. I put a padlock on my bedroom door. I stopped buying groceries. I ate every meal at work or in my car. The fridge was empty. Travis grew desperate. He started stealing my toilet paper. He started leaving angry notes. But he didn't leave. He truly believed he was untouchable. When the 30 days expired, he was still there. So, we filed for an unlawful detainer lawsuit. The court date arrived. Travis didn't show up. He later told me he overslept and that court is for losers. Because he didn't show, the judge granted a default judgment in my favor immediately. I got the writ of possession. This is the golden ticket. It's the piece of paper that tells the sheriff, remove this person by force if necessary. The sheriff's department posted the final notice on the front door, vacate within 5 days or be removed. Travis tore that one down too. They won't actually come, he told me, smirking while eating cereal he had bought with money he likely stole from my change jar. Sheriffs are busy. They have real crimes to solve. Day 5 arrived. I took the day off work. I sat in my car across the street, drinking coffee, waiting. At 9 a.m., a sheriff's cruiser pulled up. 2 deputies got out. They adjusted their belts and walked up the driveway. I walked up behind them with my key. "Good morning, deputies," I said. "I'm the homeowner. He's inside." I unlocked the door. Travis was in the living room, in his underwear, playing video games. The volume was so loud he didn't hear us enter. "Travis, last name," the deputy announced, his voice booming. Travis jumped so hard he dropped the controller. He spun around, saw the uniforms, and his face went pale white. "Whoa, what is this?" Travis stammered. "This is an eviction," the deputy said, holding up the paperwork. "You have 10 minutes to gather your essential items and vacate the premises. Everything else goes on the curb." "You can't do this." Travis shrieked, scrambling to stand up. "I have rights. I'm a tenant. I need 30 days. "You had 30 days, the deputy said calmly. "Then you had court. Then you had 5 more days. Now, you have 9 minutes. Travis tried to argue. He started pulling up the tenant handbook on his phone again. "Officer, look, it says here." "Sir," the deputy stepped forward, hand resting near his hip. "If you do not start packing, we will escort you out in handcuffs for trespassing and obstruction. Move." Travis finally broke. The arrogance evaporated. He ran to the guest room and started throwing clothes into garbage bags. He was crying. Actually crying. "OP, please," he begged as he shoved his Xbox into a backpack. "Where am I supposed to go? Help me." I leaned against the doorframe, watching him panic. "I don't know, Travis. Maybe you should check the tenant handbook. Does it have a section on homeless shelters?" 10 minutes later, the deputies escorted him out. He was standing on the sidewalk with 2 garbage bags and a backpack. The deputy turned to me. "Do you want us to stand by while you change the locks?" "I have the locksmith pulling up right now," I said, pointing to the van turning the corner. I watched the locksmith drill out the core. I watched Travis trying to call his mom, who had blocked him months ago, on the sidewalk. I went inside. The smell in the guest room hit me like a wall. Stale sweat, rotting food, and mildew. There were holes in the drywall. The carpet was ruined. It cost me $4,000 to fix the room and $2,500 for the lawyer. But as I locked the brand new deadbolt that night and sat in absolute, blessed silence, I knew it was worth every penny. Family comes first. Maybe. But my peace of mind comes immediately after. And Travis? He never got back on his feet. Last I heard, he's trying to crash on a friend's couch. I sent the friend a text warning him. I'm not a doormat anymore. I'm a landlord of my own life, and vacancies are closed.